Hello, how are you doing? I am here because I'm going to do a video just today. I have a bunch of people that are new to Saint and just ordered their makeup and need to know how to apply it. So that's why I'm here. I'm going to do this video just as a reference to help you do your makeup. Learn it for the first time, try it out, and then still come to me with any questions you have, but we're going to get started. I am doing this not as a live because I am also in the midst of doing things, aka my children are awake. I am making food in the oven that I need to pause and go do. So we're just kind of doing life this way today. And that's the beauty of this business is you just do it in the pockets of time that you have. So we are going to start. This is my palette. I have a big one, but we're going to start with these three colors, which is your three colors that make up your foundation. So we have your brightening highlight, your main highlight, and your contour. So that's what we're going to start with. So my brightening is Aura. And I don't know why. You can do it in any order you want, but I have lately just been liking to start with Aura. So I just take it and I put it right down the middle of my nose, just a touch here on the cupid's bow, a touch here on my chin. And with this makeup, less is more. You don't need to pile it on. You can always add more if you feel like you want a little bit more coverage after. It's buildable, which is beautiful, but less is more. So a T-zone, a little bit of the T, and then I put the brightening highlight also underneath my eyes. Now I might have to go look in the mirror at some points behind me just because sometimes it's hard to see on the phone. But so if you catch me doing that, that's why. All right, there we go. So there, now I am bright. So you put it, your brightening highlight, which is on your chin, Cupid's bow, down your nose, under your eyes, and then in the T-spot there, okay? So if you need to pause, you can pause, and you can just look at my face. There you go, and see that's where you put it, okay? Next is your main highlight. So we put it on my jawline, just dots. You can see it's just dots coming up. And up the other side, I think this is the last day I'll use these and I'll have to replace them. They're getting low. On the side, you put it kind of, they say, in your beard area or wherever your other makeup is not. Up here. Okay. There we go. A little bit there. Tiny bit on the sides here. There we go. I use it also just as a primer for my eyes, so I just do a dot on there and let it sit and warm up, and then I'll blend it in. And then on the sides of my nose, I usually do, and a little bit just coming right under here, down here a bit. I like a fuller coverage, so, and my skin's a bit dry right now, so I'm putting a tiny bit more on just so that it will absorb. There. So there you go. This is my face with the main. You can see all the places that I've put it, okay? So that's where you're going to put your main highlight. Contour I'm going to show you with a detail brush. Okay, actually, let me just show you. A lot of you ordered Frenchie, or will order Frenchie, which helps you with dark circles under your eyes. I don't have really dark circles, so I don't use it as much, or maybe they do and I just don't notice, or it's not a thing yet, but take your brush. You need just a little blush. This is a detail brush, okay? I love it for contour and for color correcting. And just dab it into Frenchie here. Ignore my fingers, I'm making beads. Dab it into Frenchie, and then you just put it right under your eye, okay? Dab it on very lightly. You don't need very much under your eye. Okay, just a tiny, tiny bit. And what happens is this peachy pink color is going to counteract the blue purple colors. So it will eliminate mostly, or in a good way, like a lot of the dark circles under your eyes. Okay, so that's what we do with Frenchie. If you got Aspen, a lot of you also are getting Aspen, and that helps to color correct any redness. Then I want you to just take your little brush, same thing, dip it into Aspen, and you just tap it wherever you have redness, okay? Just wherever you have redness. And you shouldn't have it like showing up like a full face coverage. It's just light. You just need a little bit. And as you work with it, you can play with it with the amount as well to see how much you need or don't need, okay? So I am going to take into the detail brush here because I love using it for my contour. And my contour, I have found, I started with Astoria and found it wasn't showing up as much as I'd like. So I started going into indigo, which I love. So play with your contours too. If the color you're like, oh, I want a little more, you can always switch up. Your colors don't have to be exactly, okay? So play with them. And what you want to do with your contour is you want to put it higher than you think you will. So a lot of times you think it's right under the cheekbone. I actually like to put it right on or almost right at the top, because the contour is supposed to be the facelift. Okay, so if it's too low, it's not gonna give you that facelift. And you also don't need a lot. Like I just like, look at that, a really thin line. Okay, so there you go. And then the other thing you can do is use your finger if you want and bring it down. It's not going to be as thin a line, but that's okay. You can balance it out later if you want. So those of you who don't have the detail brush, you can just take it in with your finger. Just like that, however much you want. Okay? Then I'll take it and I will put some down here. Okay? We will blend it all out. Put some down there. Great. Beautiful. Okay, and then a lot of people do it up here, so I will, just to show you that you can. I don't usually. My girlfriend, she's a makeup artist, I asked her kind of why she does it or why people do. She said it's that people find they have a big forehead and it kind of helps them mitigate that. So I don't love indigo on my nose. I find it too dark and too red. So I'm going to go back into Astoria, and you just take the side of the detail brush there. Okay, get your contour on it. Just dip it in like this. And it can come down the side. Okay, same thing here. Or you take it with your finger and you can just bring her down your nose, okay? Right there. Okay, and I sometimes just take it off to make a little ball on the end of my nose right there, okay? And that is it when it comes to just applying your mane. So here's my contour. A little bit up on the forehead, top of the cheekbone, on my jaw, just down the bridge of my nose. Okay, I did post some things too a while ago about just different nose contouring that you can play with as well. So you can find that on the page. Okay, so I just use my little spoolie, brush out my eyebrows. I let my makeup sit a little bit. They suggest if you're going to do anything with your eyes or anything, just let it sit for a bit to warm up, and it will blend a little better. So you don't have to. Lots of days I don't, but so here we go. Oh, I'm screwing this up. I'm going to go to my mirror. Look at that. I'm going for some wild eyebrows today. There we go. And I honestly, I don't do anything super fancy with my brows. I just like to color them in. So I'm going to use indigo for that. Okay. And then we have, I don't know, for me, I find that mine just don't stay in place. They're a little bit longer, even when I get them trimmed. So I also like to use our brow wax. So you just take your little spoolie brush. I'm trying to slow down so I'm not going too fast for people, but you can always pause the video at any moment if you're working and practicing. And you just get it wet, and I just dip it right into our eyebrow wax. You just kind of take it like this once it's wet. Sorry, you can hear the water. Okay, and the same thing. Okay, once it's wet, just dip it into the eyebrow wax, and then you can shape them or brush them however you like. I think it's really big right now. The big trend is to have them kind of up like that, but I'll just keep it simple for now. All right. Then we blend this in. So I love the buff brush for this. One, I use the big end for my, the bead skin. The big end for my foundation, for my bright colors, and then the small end I use for my dark. Now, if you only have one brush or whatever you're doing, I just recommend you just blend in your brightening highlights first, like you're brightening your main highlight first, and then your contour, so you're not taking contour all over your face. Now, you literally just blend it lightly in circles, okay? I might look at the mirror for this, but you can still follow me. Okay, so we're just gonna blend it. Now, I already have like some fine lines and things under my eyes, so I find when I blend under my eyes, let's turn that around a second, I have to stipple it on. Okay, so it's like this, just like a little, either like this or just dotting it even, because when you rub, that's when you're going to get it just settling in. and showing up in all those little lines and wrinkles and spaces, okay? So, and like, you can skip the contour entirely. You don't have to do contour. You can just put your brightening and main highlights on as just your normal foundation if you don't want to use contour. Contour, you can do it simple. You can do it a little more crazy. I just find that I like it. It just brings out shadow in your face, you know? So oftentimes it just depends. You can make it more dramatic and glamorous, or you can make it a little less, okay? There we go. So, and even on my nose, I just stipple it always because I find it does kind of tend to brush off my nose a bit. And don't forget to go back in and blend in on your eyes. So this just acts as a primer. So even if you're not going to put anything on, though, I do find it just brings your eye area, it's quite large, to be the same shape and shade, okay? Then I take this side, the small side of the buff brush, and I just blend in and contour. So on your chin, you can blend your contour down. On your forehead, you can blend your contour down. Everywhere else, because you want it to be the face lift, you want to blend it up, okay? So even you can see here my fingers and the precision between the two on my cheeks of the contour, using the brush and using my finger, like it just, and it doesn't make it, it's like, okay, it doesn't matter, but I love the precision of the detail brush for contour. It just is meant to get into those spaces and shapes. So blend your contour up as well on your nose, and just blend as much as you want. You can always add more, or you can blend it away to take it away. I find, and then you can blend down a bit too on your forehead if you're putting contour on your forehead, okay? Because you want to bring that shadow down a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. Sorry, noticing my eyebrows are a little wonky. There we go. Beauty. So with your contour, just take it back and forth. Don't blend down. If anything, go up. But I try to first start by just taking it back and forth. And you just blend it in however much you want, okay? So my girlfriend, I got her to teach me a bunch of things. She's an incredible makeup artist. MJ is her name, MJ Parker on Facebook, or Adore You Always. There we go. So you can see there, it's just not, and she taught me that too with contour. Like, you don't want it to be going all the way down here. You want to just kind of stop right there so that you're putting your brush right at the corner of your eye, okay? That's about the length you want it to be. And if you like it different, that's fine. It's your makeup. You get to do it however you want. But as a rule, general, you don't want to take it too low because you start to look dirty. Okay, it starts looking dirty. So, and then we're just going to do the same thing. Don't know if I should be terrified that it's been about 20 minutes and I have barely heard from my children, but they're in the basement. It's mostly foolproof, so, or childproof, so, well, we'll just have to spend some time cleaning, and that's okay. There we go. Foundation is done. See? Look how it all just blended in beautifully. You can see the shadow of the contour. It's not super crazy. And even both, they blended pretty similarly, okay? So, there we go. So next we're going to dive into our lip and cheek. So all of our lips are also blush, both together. And you can mix and match. You can do one for your cheeks, one for your lips. You can mix the colors together, whatever you want. So Royal has been one of my favorites lately, and it shows up really well. But you know what? It's a gloss. For lips, I'm just going to do something that's really going to show up for you guys. Okay, so I'm going to go with Saffron, which is like a very bright pink color, but it's also very pretty for winter and fall. So sometimes I would put like 1, 2, 3 dots on, but Saffron, she's bright baby, so I'm not going to put that much on. And then the same thing is I would always start with less because you can always add more. Okay, so we just put it on our cheeks like that, 1, 2, and then we will blend it in with our blush and bronzer brush. Okay, but I am going to just take my line. I have a liner brush. This is another one of our multitasker brush, so I use that for lipstick. Okay, so take your, you can line with bronzer, line with contour, line with whatever. do good lining. There we go. And when you do a little extra under here, when you give a little extra shadow right underneath, there you can already see it gives you a fuller look on your lip, okay? So here we go. I don't line my lips very often. Like my everyday look is very simple, usually in basic. There we go. But I want to show you guys everything so you can do everything. There we go. So that one, it just is a multitasker brush that just has this very pointy end. That's really good for lining. And if you even just want to do your cupids though, and just right under here and not the rest, like that works really well too. I'm going to put some of our lip conditioner on. It's amazing. My skin is already starting to dry up in winter, and this stuff is unbelievable as a base. So good. So then I'll take the other, the multitasker brush, and I find like our lipsticks are quite pigmented, but I find one to save your fingers. I like to put it on with the brush, and I also find that I can put it on a little more detail. So this is Saffron. She's beautiful. It's more of like a bright pink, less of a red. It might look a little red in this, but there you go. And I'm doing this slow. Like your makeup really, once you get used to it, it should take you 10 minutes or less. Sometimes I take like half an hour because it's just fun to take my time. But like really, if you want, like this is like a 5 to 10 minute deal. I've done it in 3 minutes. There we go. There we go. Perfect. Okay. So I'm also going to take in the blush and bronzer brush. So if you like a light coverage, then you can use this to also blend in your face if you prefer light coverage. I don't. I like a full coverage, so I'm just going to blend it in here. Okay. Here we go. And you can do your blush however you like. I start a little bit closer, and then I'd get it onto the apples of my cheeks. There we go, but I try to keep it out of the, not to get it too close. So sometimes I have to go back over it with my highlighter again. There we go. So let's get that little apples of the cheeks there. There we go. Pink glow. All right, then we go to our highlighter. Okay. So our illuminators. So these three are my cream illuminators. We have some powder ones, which I really want to get for Christmas. I think it'd be really fun because they are just pop. And I find this to be like one of our most feminine products. It just gives you such a sharp, not sharp, sorry, just a really pretty just pop when the light hits you. So it's a little bit of a lighter, cooler look, so I'm going to go with Pearl, and you just dip your finger in and you just take it right on top of your blush, like right up on the bones, like it's going to go right in. Oh, sorry, someone's trying to call me. So anyways, and the same thing just right up here. Okay, and then a little bit on the ball of the nose, little dab there. Okay, there we go. So just put the illuminator, and then you can see already where the light hits you, it's just a little shine, a little bit of a shine. So I just love it. It's just such a pretty pop. All right. Here we are. Blush is on, illuminator is on, lipstick is on. Let's do a little bronzer, okay? And then we'll do eyes and we'll be finished. I'm just going to pop out in a second. I gotta switch up my beads. Just roasting them for the first time. But, so I just gotta shake them up. So yeah, I just put some on here, under where you would put your contour, on the side of your face, not really on the middle. Again, you might have places you like to put your bronzer. This is just what I know so far. It has been recommended by my parents who are makeup artists. And so it's like I love Bella. She's like a one size fits all, but we have 4 bronzers now. So if you're wondering which one you should use, just ask and if I don't know, I'll find out for you. I've got lots of people who can help me figure it out. But bronzer, I love it. Just gives a little bit of that sun-kissed glow. So you just kind of put it the places where the sun might touch you. Okay? All right, eyes. So a couple things. I'm just going to go and do like a 2 or 3 eyeshadow look for you. I'm still learning eyeshadows, to be quite honest. I find them really fun, but I haven't really ever known how. I usually would just put them on, and then if I was going on a date, I would put on more. And it was darker, so it felt like it was more date-like. Well, it's not really how you're supposed to do it, but you do you, and I did me, and now I'm doing different, and that's fine. So what we're going to do is, if you look at me, I basically have hooded eyes, so like where you can't often see once my eyelids. So when I close my eyes, they kind of disappear. So what we have to do is take the color just a little bit higher up. I'll come closer for this, okay? Okay, I'm actually just going to pause, go to my beats. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Probably didn't miss me. All right, so back to eyeshadow. We're continuing on. So I just take it and I have primed it with you can use a primer, or I just find that it tends to work really well just to use my highlighter. I just put it on one of my highlights, okay? So I just dab it on a little bit. So I have a base color here. I think this is Rome, okay? And I just see kind of going on there a little bit, dab it on. Okay, so I'd start with a very more neutral color, usually. And I think I'm going to do something kind of fun today. I'm going to do a little bit of Leo, which is my favorite. It's intimidating because it's dark. And then we'll do some pomegranate to bring in saffron. But there we go. So, and Amanda, when she was teaching me, just like everything she did, she was just tapping it in. She wasn't like blending it. So then I also suggest when you go in between, we have a brush cleaning tile. Okay. It just looks like this little guy here. And you just take your brush and clean your colors off, because otherwise I found that I've tended to just kind of muddle them. Oh, and there we go. Got my finger in it. Okay. So I'm going to go into this next color here called Zion. Okay. So just tap in, and then we're going to go higher. Like I hit again, because I said, like, I have to make my own crease. I don't have, so that the color will show up, okay? So I take it higher, tap in. So you just take it and just tap it above the brow bone. Now don't be afraid, because we can blend anything out. If it seems like a lot, no problem. You can wipe it off, put a highlighter on top again. Like already I've taken a little bit too far in, but I can fix that later. Okay, so just dabbing it in here, touching it in. Okay, there we go. I think it's so fun. And again, I don't do eyeshadows every day. It's kind of just when I feel like it, or if I'm doing something special. But there we go. Okay. And then just take that off. We're going to go into our color here, down here, pomegranate. And I thought I would hate mattes, love shimmers. And I do love the shimmers, but man, I have found mattes to be just so much fun to play with. So your second color, just tap into the middle and come on out a bit, okay, and a little bit lower. So you're just tapping it and then tap it into your crease here, okay? And normally I should have started with eyes because, well, you'll get the fallout like the eye dust, but the eyeshadow dust, but oh well. So there we go. So you can build it. You can have it less, you can have it more, whatever you want. So this is pomegranate. And same thing, I'm just gonna take it in here out to the corner. So I might do 4 colors for you today just to give you an idea. So just tapping it in. And you can kind of blend them together if you want. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to cover it up. There we go. Clean that off. And then I'm going to go into, I'm going to take my, so you want a really fluffy brush to do eyeshadows, like way fluffier than I thought. I had no clue, but then I'm going to take this kind of little, it's our smudge brush, and I'm going to take it to kind of do, sorry, it doesn't really focus as well, but I'm going to take it to kind of do my corners, okay? Take off the extra there. I'm going to come in and pat it right in here. Just a little bit on the T, okay? Just give a little bit of that corner there. And I'm going to go into our brown, which is a beautiful brown color called Trust. We have a couple, we have Oak as well as beautiful. But there we go. So you can see that coming in on the sides. This is darker than normal. I would normally do, but I also want it to show up so you can all see it. So there you go. Okay. So brush that off. Oh, I can hear my children doing something. It's okay, I'm almost done. There we go. Just gonna blend it in. Okay, now I don't like necessarily it coming out the sides. So what I do there is I take my brush, go into my highlight, my brightening or my main, and then I just take it up, okay? There. And look at that. Just be careful you don't go too far, or you take all the color off you just did. There we go. And I can tell, see here, this is still a little dark, so I'll just blend that in. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, look at that. So we've got Leo up here, pomegranate, oak, and then I'm going to go in the middle with a little bit of gold. And I'm going to actually use our illuminator called Georgia. Just take in a little bit of shimmer right there. Okay. There you go, and just dab it right onto the middle. You can see here. Beautiful. There you go. And it's like not so difficult. It's pretty simple. One thing I am going to do is just take a little bit of a brush and just kind of take my highlight and just fix up the top a little bit. Okay, it's a little higher than I want the color to be, so there we go. I just blend that in. And it also just gives you, see how bright, just brightens everything up a little bit. There we go. Beautiful. There we go. I say that a lot, sorry. Okay, I'm just gonna do this. I've done a video on eyeliner. I will do another one. We sell one, but it depends what you like. Can't even begin to do this way. I'm gonna have to do it in the mirror, sorry. But just essentially, like, I like just getting it right into my lashes, especially with hooded eyes. Oftentimes when I look up, when I'm done and I start blinking, it will go and I take it a little bit on a wing. If I don't do it right in the lash line, then I blink and it's all over the place. There, so you can see the difference. Even just a tiny bit of eyeliner. I'm working on it, I'm getting better, but I take it right down there in the corner. There we go. There we go. And this guy needs a little more. Perfect. Finishing touches for me are always curl my eyelashes. So I started with a cool look and then I went with like warm colored eyeshadow. So hey, whatever. Which is actually mostly what I have, is more on the warm side of eyeshadows. But that's the beauty of makeup. Your makeup is that it's yours and you get to do whatever the heck you want. So I hope that this video has been helpful for you. And just want you to know, if you have any questions, if you want to schedule doing makeup together so you can ask questions as we go, like, let's do it. We can get ready together one morning. That's what the first time I started using SEINT, I did with my girlfriend who was selling it, Marissa, and like I felt like after that I was able to just do it. And like, yes, it takes practice and just playing with it because you're gonna like different things, but it's okay. So thank you for making it this far. 30 minutes is a good chunk of time, but hopefully, yeah, you feel like you can do it too now. And just see that it is just really easy. It literally is just placing things. Here I go blinking again like crazy. In different parts on your face, different spots. So, and then you just blend it in. So yeah, play with it. See what you think. All right, there's me. You guys are wonderful. Thankful for you, and I hope this helps. So have a wonderful day.